Ramayana Divine Loophole by Sanjay Patel, pages 64 to 81.
Page 64, Valiant Eagle. As tears streamed down Sita's face, she called out as loudly as she could for Rama and Lakshman. But it was no use, for now they were flying high above the trees. Fortunately, the demon's chariot flew right over Jatayu's nest. The majestic eagle flapped its wings, took to the air, and in moments it was in pursuit of the speeding demon. Swooping in front of Ravanya's path, Jatayu demanded that he abide by the code of the kings and release Sita at once. But Ravanya had no intention of honoring this code. The demon took up his bow and began firing arrows at the eagle. But Jatayu flapped his mighty wings, causing a mini tempest that deflected the arrows. The eagle clawed at the chariot with his mighty talons and snatched Ravanya's bow, shattering it easily. But Ravanya would not be bested by the mighty beast. With a powerful swing of his sword, the cruel demon cut straight through the eagle's wing, adding yet another crime to his notorious list. The mighty eagle fell from the sky as Ravanya's chariot streaked across the horizon and disappeared. Page 66, Search for Sita. By the time Rama and Lakshman figured out what had happened, Sita was long gone and the guardian eagle was dead. Rama felt defeated, but Lakshman urged him not to give up hope. Together they began looking for the princess. As the brothers made their way south, they entered the jungle kingdom of Kishkinda, where they came upon a couple of monkeys and a bear. The furry creatures introduced themselves as Hanuman, the white monkey, Sugriva, the exiled king of Vanara monkey tribe, and Jambavan, the black bear and clan chief. The brothers were relieved to tell their story, recounting their exile and the kidnapping, and stating their quest to find the missing princess. The animals felt sorry for Rama and offered to help. The warriors were surprised by their generosity, but didn't think that a few monkeys and a bear would be much help in finding Sita. Sugriva and Jambavan assured Rama that he would also have the help of their families. Their entire families. And so both the monkey and the bear tribes searched high and low for a month. But Sita was nowhere to be found. Page 72, Monkey God. When the search party reached the southern tip of India and Sita had not been located, everyone lamented their inability to cross the ocean and continue the search. Even Hanuman was left scratching his head. Luckily, the old bear, Jambavan, had an idea. He didn't know where Sita was, but he knew a secret about Hanuman. In his youth, Hanuman had been cursed with an inability to remember how powerful he was, in order to keep him from using his powers to annoy the meditating sages. Jambavan decided to break the promise he'd made to the gods and whispered in the monkey's ear, telling him that he was no ordinary monkey, but in fact the son of the wind god. Instantly, Hanuman's divine powers were restored, transforming the monkey into a giant and sending his head up toward the clouds. From his new vantage point, Hanuman easily spotted Ravana's palace upon the island of Lanka. Hanuman squatted down, coiling up his energy. With a look of determination, he shot forward toward the ocean, and then, in one massive step, he leaped off the tip of the continent. As he jumped, he shouted, "Jaya Rama!" Victory to Rama, in a booming voice, and then he was airborne. The group on the beach gazed in amazement, as the Vanara was now flying straight toward Lanka, the land of demons. Page 77, Princess Prisoner. Before landing on the demon island, Hanuman shrank himself back down to the size of an ordinary monkey so that he could sneak into Ravana's palace. There, he followed the faint sound of sobbing coming from a small grove of asoka trees. Stealthily making his way through the foliage, Hanuman saw several ogresses guarding the hunched form of a crying woman. Despite her gloom, she was clearly a goddess whose luster was obscured beneath a veil of grief. Hanuman had no doubt that he had found Sita, and he smiled, knowing that the search was over. Just then the garden doors burst open, and Ravana entered, demanding that Sita become his queen or wind up as his dinner. Ravana gave the princess 1 month to decide. That night, after everyone was fast asleep, Hanuman approached Sita and explained that Rama had mobilized an army and was preparing to rescue her. Sita turned away coldly, thinking this was yet another one of Ravana's disguises. Undeterred, the Vanara told Sita that the Blue Prince had not forgotten his oath to always protect her, which was symbolized by the wedding ring she gave him. Hanuman then took out the ring, which Rama had entrusted to him, and presented it to the princess. Sita recognized it right away, and with tears of joy now streaking her face, she blessed Hanuman for renewing her hope. Page 79, Burning Tail. Excited to bring back the good news of Sita's discovery, Hanuman was caught off guard as he was leaving the palace. The demons quickly surrounded the Vanara, who stood unarmed with his palms joined in a gesture of peace. With spears and swords held to his throat, Hanuman humbly surrendered and politely explained that he was an envoy with an urgent message for King Ravana. The demons bound Hanuman in chains and brought him before the demon king. He respectfully told Ravana that Rama had raised an army that would fight for Sita's freedom unless she was released. Each of Ravana's many heads laughed mightily at the news as his eyes flared with rage. His teeth flashed as he declared death to Rama and death to his messenger. The demon king then deemed that since this messenger was clearly a spy, he would first be tortured with fire, smelling his own flesh burn. Looking Hanuman over, the demon decided to burn what was most precious to the monkey. He ordered that the Vanara's tail be set on fire. Hanuman's tail was wrapped with oil-soaked rags, while the guards waved their torches near his face, taunting him. Then, slowly, a flame was brought near his back, and then down to the tip of his tail. The Vanaran's lips trembled, but it was not fear that moved his mouth. He was chanting a mantra. Over and over again, he whispered Rama's name. Rama, Rama, Rama. Finally, the oil-soaked rags were lit on fire, but before Hanuman could feel the pain of the fire, he used his divine powers to extend his tail, keeping the flames far away from his body. The spectators stared at the growing tail, confused and mesmerized by the sight. Snapping his chains, Hanuman flicked his winding tail to and fro, setting Ravana's court ablaze. Hanuman jumped across the roofs of Lanka, his long tail dragging behind him, leaving a trail of fire as the entire city was set ablaze. Taking flight once again, Hanuman could see that all of Lanka was engulfed in flames. But deep within the fire and smoke, there was one patch of safety where Sita was being held. Confident that he had fulfilled his mission, Hanuman finally let his extensive tail dip into the ocean, extinguishing the flames. The proud Vanara then leaped toward home, buoyed by the satisfaction of destroying Ravana's capital city.